Hi there, this is Floris from mrflores.com, and this is about the cache check for Minecraft, Spigot, and build tools. We want to focus on getting 1.12.2 and have Spigot build against that, so when 1.13 comes out, our script doesn't accidentally build 1.13 and break everything. Anyway, so we want to make a cache file, and if it doesn't exist, it will create one. So we're gonna get rid of that one for now, just to demo it. And if 1.12.2 is found, it will continue. Otherwise, the script will error, and I'll try to demonstrate that if I don't forget. And if we have an older version or the version number is the same for Spigot, then we're not going to get a nightly build. Otherwise, we're going to continue our script and check against build tools. And because before we want to build Spigot, we want to check if we have the right version of build tools to do so. We're not going to check old and new versions. We're just going to check if the version of build tools is the same. Then we're just going to run it again to get a latest Spigot. And if it's different, we're going to download the jar file. Anyway, this is just the cache check file shell script. And we're only going to check the caches. So the whole script of upgrading build tools and Spigot and all of that stuff is not part of this one. This one is included in the main files for the network. Anyway, this is as if you would be running it for the first time. This part is where, this is all debug info at this point, but there's no existing file found because I just deleted it. We're going to create a new one, and to make sure that we're going to get the latest Spigot and build tools, we're only setting that to 0, so it's always newer. That way, when you want to force it to get something new, all you have to do is delete the text file and run the script again. Anyway, but 1.12.2 is forced. Then we're going to check that we have a text file or not, and if we don't, we're going to create it and then use the data, and if we find it, then we're going to use the data. And then the script at this point is going to go online and goes to spigotmc.org and checks what version of Minecraft it's building against, what the nightly build number is for Spigot and build tools, and then we're going to compare it. Okay, we can continue, otherwise we'll error. We found a newer build, this one, and we had that one in our cache, so we're going to continue. And the same for build tools, which will always work. It will not quit on build tools because if it's an older, newer, or the same version, whatever, we're going to get some. Oh wait, no. If the number doesn't match, we are gonna get a new one, and if it does match, all we have to do is just run it again, and then we're done. Okay, so now if we do that ls again, we have the cache file, so we'll run it again, see if we need to run it again. And we didn't update it, but we found an existing cache file, and it will do it again. Okay, at this point, this is where I am. I'm all the way at the bottom here. This part is the last part. I just have to use sed to update the cache file. And then we're going to put this inside of our build tools, where it will go through the process and uses our variables and all that stuff. So progress has been made. Let's go to the top. The cache text file will always have 3 lines, 1, 2, and 3, one for Minecraft, one for Spigot, and one for build tools. And first we're going to check what file we're going to use. So we can change this if we want. We can put it in a different directory. It doesn't matter. As long as we can find it. The whole script is going to use the variable cache file to compare against. We found it. That's great. We continue. And if we didn't find it, well, that sucks. Let's create one with some default settings. So if somebody wants to change this, they are free to do so. But I think this works great. Then regardless if we did or did not have one, we now do. So let's get those 3 lines of code into 3 variables that we're going to use. So we're going to get the build numbers. So we're going to go online to this URL, and this URL. And we're going to parse that in a while loop to get the name for the ID and the Minecraft version for that one and so forth. And then for debug reasons, I just output what I found and then do the comparison, and otherwise it works or it quits, and otherwise we quit or we can continue, and etc, etc. So took a little bit of work because some stuff for macOS is different, like the where was that? I don't know. I might have resolved that actually. I worked my way around it. I forgot already. So one thing that I've done is add a fail early to the CURL curl to get the data. Another thing that I've done is create a function oops that will simply spit out our error if we don't find something. So if there is a failure one way or another, it should respond to this. So let's get a URL. So let's get the wrong file name here. For example, that, and just run the script and see what happens. And it will just error before doing anything else. Failed to get the Minecraft version from this URL, and we'll see that there's a typo in there. Then we can go in the script, update the URL to whatever it is now, and run it, and it will go through just fine. So this is perfect. I've been rambling on more than plenty. I think this is fine. This works. If you do have any suggestions, feel free to let me know. But right now, this is a better version than what I had before, and it doesn't go through a bunch of URLs that I apparently don't need. I narrowed it down to 3 things, and it will only, get those once a day. And then it will only get the buildtools.jar file and all that stuff from Spigot if there is a reason to update, which in the previous version that I had written was a bit buggy. So progress, yay! Okay, see you guys on Minecraft.